Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss with you last, that is the Gpat examination tricks and tips. Okay, because now you got a timetable. Most probably date will release soon for the Gpat examination. But now you got the registration of the Gpat examination and everything, right? So you have 1.5 month remaining for the preparation. So in this presentation, I am going to explain you regarding what you have to focus on and which subject, okay, because it's a last minute revision, so you have to focus on the main things and which you have to revise it. Okay, so let's start with the slides. Yeah, first thing, subjects to be covered. You have to cover 4 subjects. Mainly you have to cover 4 subjects. There are many sub subjects, but you have to focus on these 4 subjects mainly. So first I will go with the pharmaceutics. You can see here pharmaceutics subject. Let me take a pen and explain you fast, or I will take a highlighter, laser pen. So here you can see, sorry, in pharmaceutics, that is a biopharmaceutics, physical pharmacy, pharmaceutical technology, dispensing pharmacy, unit operation, cosmetic preparation and microbiology, right? So this comes under the pharmaceutics. So I'm going to tell you what to focus on. So in the biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics, you have to learn the mechanism of drug absorption. Okay, you have to learn active absorption, passive absorption, what are the definitions of all that, theories of dissolutions, which are the theories of dissolution that you have to study, equation like Fick's law, Noyes-Whitney equation, models of mechanism, zero order, first order, second order, that you have to remember with the equations. Why I'm going to explain you this? Because at the like in this last month you can just go through all those equations, formulas, classification, because you cannot read everything. You can just focus on these points and go through these points. Okay, followed by that dissolution apparatus. You know there are 7 types of type 1, type 2, type 3, type 7 types are there. So you have to remember as per IP, as per USP, what are the dissolution apparatus type. Testing and interpretation also there. Then BCS classification, modified BCS classification, examples of each class. You know, BCS classification is very important. You have to remember as per the like modification, BCS classification also you have to study. Then concept of pharmacokinetics. Yes, pharmacokinetics that contains ADME. So you need to remember what is ADME, okay, and the equations under that. Biological half-life, equation of T half, zero order, first order. Like I said, you have to learn the equations as well. Then volume of distribution, the definition of volume of distribution you have to remember. Then clearance, total body clearance, renal clearance, these are the equations, like a definition, small definition. So please focus on that. Then continue in the same pharmaceutics, that is a relationship between T half, volume of distribution, then clearance, all that you have to study. GFR, that is glomerular filtration rate markers, what are those markers that you have to remember. Then compartment models, 1, 2 and multi compartment models are there, that you have to remember. AUC, you have to study that curve also, right? Okay, area under curve, what is area under curve, what is bell shaped curve, all those things you have to learn. Then what is loading dose, maintenance dose, kinetic equation, Michaelis maintenance equation, what is bioavailability, what is bioequivalence. Remember the difference between bioequivalence and bioavailability, which is very important. Then Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. So now I know 100% you are aware about this, but in exam they will give you the equation. You have to identify salt is up like in numericals, or base is in denominator, that you have to remember. Okay, or salt, acid, base, what is the relationship with the log equation also you have to remember. Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. And ICH guidelines, of course ICH guidelines are very important, because they have given what is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q7. So all stability related guidelines are you have to do. And remember the, of course, the what we can say, the abbreviation ICH, that is International Conference of Harmonization. At the time of my exam, they have asked this question: what is the long form of ICH? I know now they don't ask, but yeah. Then in physical pharmaceutics, yes, first we will focus on micromeritics. That is very important. What is particle size distribution, what are the methods to determine particle size, all those things. Then give me a second. Then grades of powder, coarse powder, fine powder, that you have to remember. Surface area, what is the meaning of surface area? methods to determine surface area, porosity, equation of porosity, density, type of density, what are the types of density, Cars index, Hausner ratio, angle of repose. Many time they will ask you the question on this also. What is the meaning of Cars index? What is the meaning of Hausner's ratio? What is the meaning of angle of repose? Sorry. Then surface tension, they can ask you the definition of surface tension, interfacial tension, STIT in the in short form STIT. And what are the instruments used for the measuring surface tension? Do not tensiometer, stalgmometer. You can read about it. Okay. Maybe you are thinking, ma'am, you are giving everything, like all points you are mentioning. Yes, but you have to just read little bit, just revise it. Not you don't need to like go through everything like through books. No, you have to just read short points about it, so you can you can calculate in in examination. You will get that. Then surfactants, types of HLB scale, methods of HLB value determination, then common name of brand of name of surfactant, span, twin, bridge, merge. Span and twin, mostly they will ask what is span 20, what is twin 20, span 80, twin 80, they can ask on the span and twins. So you have to remember what are those carboxymethyl cellulose or whatever that you have to remember. Then again in mostly because last year examination they have asked you about the mostly pharmaceutical and chemistry questions were there, so you have to focus on all those things. What is Gibbs energy, zeta potential, buffers, buffers are very important, electrolyte solution, and the definitions of all isotonic solutions, molarity, normality, molality, all those things. Pharmaceutical technology, the important is tablet, capsule and parenteral. Mostly focus on these three topics entirely. That's why I have mentioned here VIP means very important chapter. Then in cosmetic preparation and biotechnology, in cosmetic preparations, you have to just remember what are the constituents of the nail paints and nail polishes, lipsticks, and with this in biotechnology they can ask you the question only based upon like this. What is transcription, translation, replication, PCR, only general definition. So don't go read all biotechnology book, there is no need. Just read those terminologies, what is annealing, de-annealing, re-annealing, DNA melting formulas, and PCR. Now we are very much aware about the RT-PCR, PCR, what is the polymerase chain reaction, what happens in that PCR. So read little bit little bit explanation of PCR. Then biotechnological derived drugs, what are the new biotechnological derived drugs, about that you have to read. In jurisprudence, you have to read about all the schedules, don't leave any schedule. From A to Y you have to read all the schedules. Then all the acts and with the years you have to remember. And DPCO, in DPCO you have to remember the what I can say, in DPCO you have to remember the formulas, that is important. Then pharmacology, maybe many of you this subject is your favorite subject. In pharmacology classification book, you have that small KD tripartite classification book. At the 2 days before, please revise that book. I will request everybody revise that book, because many a times question can directly they will ask the category. Okay, category of and they can ask you directly anti cardiovascular drug, they can directly ask you bronchodilator, bronchoconstrictor, everything they can ask you. So classification should be like, yeah, I knew everything, you should be like that. Okay, then adverse effect of the drugs from KDT, and the important drugs are there. From that drug you have to remember what are the adverse effect of that. Then mostly important topics are ANS, CNS, CVS, chemotherapy. In pharmacognosy, you have to go through the overview of the Gpat book. Gpat is very famous book. But in tabular format, you have many books. From that, you can read in tabular format the drugs, biological sources, uses, and adulterant. Okay. Yeah, and alkaloid and glycosides are very important. And finally, pharmaceutical chemistry, which is my favorite subject, biochemistry, physical, organic, medicinal, analytical. So mostly questions will come from the analytical and organic chemistry, so focus on that. Organic chemistry, in organic chemistry you have to read what are the type of reactions, and yes, if they will ask you the example that you have to give. In stereochemistry, yes, little bit you have to read about stereochemistry, because last time they have asked you asked question based upon the stereochemistry and name reaction. So very well known name reaction, so just go through that 10 to 15 name reaction. And the last part, that is analytical chemistry, which is also again my favorite subject. You know, ultraviolet, UV, IR, NMR, and PMR, and mass spectroscopy. You have to do it nicely because questions will definitely come from this part. Then shielding, deshielding, and groups in NMR. So you have to remember the chemical shift values in NMR. In UV also you have to go through Woodward-Fisher rule, that is very important. Yes, then chromatography, types of chromatography, then functional groups, what are the IR values, you know, that is wavelength values are there, so you have to do that functional group values, complete table. Beer-Lambert's law, what is Beer-Lambert's law, and different type of indicators. Yes, so finally I'm going to conclude that I'm not taking your lot of time. I've just give you the little highlights of the Gpat examination and last month preparation, which you can do. Thank you very much for patient listening. If you have any query, please feel free to put in comment section, and all the very best for your examination. So this is just a 9 to 10 minutes session. You can go through my slides, which I have I have read it now, and I have explained what is important. So all the very best for your examination. Give your best. Try to solve all questions because the negative marking is only for like 1/4. So you can give your best. Solve questions accordingly. First go through all the question from question 1 to 125. In second reading you can choose the questions which you can not able to solve in first go, right? Okay, so keep that strategy for examination, and yeah, all the very best. Thank you.